And the last thing that I do want to say to all girls is that be supportive of each other. I mean, I just can't say this enough. We have to be our best friends, each other. That means we cannot be catty. We cannot compete and see one person's failure as our success. We can all rise together, okay? We can all win. And we're sometimes taught in our societies that we have to compete and we have to hold each other back in order for one of us to succeed. That is not true. We need each other.
A very good morning to you and welcome back to KTN Life Style Monday edition. That is Inspiration Monday, and this is Everyday Woman. I'm your host Mwikali. Today we are at the Ibis Hotel, Ibis Style Hotel in Westlands. And why style? Because this is the place for all stylish people. The decor is amazing. The rooms are to die for. The rooftop bar has a panoramic view. Have you guys been there? You've gone to the rooftop? Yeah. It looks amazing. So whenever you find yourself in Westlands, you want to chill, you want to have a meeting, you want to not sleep in your house that day, then Ibis is the place to be at. So today on Everyday Women, we are just going to focus on one line. I don't know how true it is, but out of this conversation, we're going to find out. So the statement is, women are their own worst enemies. How true is that? And before I even introduce my ladies, I'm just going to read this. And I got it online from a reputable reputable source, and it says the headline is why women are their own worst enemies. I know this statement sounds cliche, but boy, Kenyan women are their own worst enemies. Outwardly, they project a united front, but deep in their soul, the loathing for one another is worse than Satan.
Wow.
And they continue. When a woman falls from grace, you can bet that the first person to throw a stone would be a woman. They would shame and embarrass their fellow women until kingdom come. The Satan and kingdom come in those two paras. Welcome to the show, ladies. I hope I didn't scare you, but I told you I'm going to read something, right? Yeah. Karibuni-san.
Thank you.
Lovely to have you on the show. This is your camera before we get right into it.
Right.
I know you're all...
Yeah. Which one? Where?
Yeah. But first introduce yourself to the camera. We'll start with you, Joanne.
Hi guys, my name is Joanne Kure. I'm a policy analyst at a human rights non-governmental organization. And I am passionate about women. I vouch for women and I root for women. So I'm here to lend my voice to that conversation.
So you're not, that's it? You're not going to talk about double X, no?
Oh yes, and if you've seen me on KTN, I am also the founder of Double X Agenda, which is a platform that roots and vouches for women. As the name suggests, XX chromosome, remember biology?
Yep,
that's where it comes from. So yeah, a platform for women, African women.
Thank
you so much.
Darling.
Hi, my name is Julie Masiga. I'm an editor, formerly at The Standard, actually, where I hosted a show called News Sources. I'm not passionate about women. I'm intentional about women and making sure that everybody has the opportunity to speak their truth and to be who they are.
Absolutely. Feel comment.
And I am Evelyn Casina. I am the founder of Evelyn Communication Solutions. I am a techpreneur, woman techpreneur. And so basically what I do is train children from the age of 7 to 17 on how to harness what technology has for them and to be digital people. Wow. So I am creating digital champions.
Hey, that's what's up. So what do you have about this? Everybody had something to say about what they feel about the woman and
yes.
This particular topic. Do you have something to say about that?
Just first things first. A woman will be the last person who gives you way when you're asking to just be given way in traffic.
Guilty.
They'll be just like, what?
Oh wow.
Oh,
feel like the rest of us.
Exactly. Exactly.
So for me, that is just one way we don't go out there to help each other. Okay. For me, it starts there. On the road, it's nikila mtu apambane na hali yake.
So anyway, getting right into it, I read this excerpt from SDA, and I don't know what you guys think about that. They've come out clearly to say that Kenyan women.
I think that was a good way to start. Kenyan women, not women in general.
It's not even women in general, because when even the topic itself, women are their own worst enemies. I don't think it's all women though. Yeah. But anyway, we're going to get right into that. sentiments about that particular piece? I can read it again.
Please, yeah, actually, you read it again.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Satan and Mimi Kingdom coming.
Kingdom of Satan is coming soon.
Okay, so I'm just going to do this pretty first. I know this statement sounds cliche, but Kenyan women are their own worst enemies. Outwardly, we project unity, but inwardly, their souls
Are darker than
loathing
the gates of hell.
Jamini.
I think it's true, and I think it's because of competition. First of all, on a purely socio-economic scale, Kenyans compete against each other so hard because there's a feeling of scarcity. It's like we don't have enough. That's between men and women and women and women. And then for women specifically, we're competing for the male gaze, unfortunately, whether you know it or you don't.
Okay.
Because men can be had by women, and women are more than men, there's a subtle subliminal competition going on to be more visible, more successful, more everything. So I think that element of competition makes it easy to laugh at a woman when she's down, and even to drag her down if you think you can, because you think there are so little resources to go around, there are so few men to go around, I need to be on top of my game, you know? So it's that kind of thing. So that statement, as devilish and hellish as it sounds,
and satanic,
and it's not, of course, it's not for everybody. It's just for, and then it comes back to how women think about themselves and their sense of self-worth. Women who have a very strong sense of esteem and purpose and passion for life don't need to compete because they know there's enough for everybody.
Oh, wow.
So again, it comes down to people on a personal level.
Okay.
What kind of person are you? Whether you're male or female, if you're dragging somebody down, you need to look inward.
I like that.
I like it.
I like that. I like that totally.
It as well. I like it.
If you didn't get anything, that was it. That was it, Joanne.
Wow, I pretty much echo her sentiments. There's a quote that I stumbled upon. It's a guy called H.L. Mencken, and he said, "A misogynist is a man who hates women as much as women hate each other."
Wow.
I was like, wow, I'd never had it put like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a lot of truth in that statement. It's a tad bit dramatic.
Yes, it is
when you
very
bring
dramatic.
Satan in the kingdom. But it's true. It's true. And I remember even just saying how there are stereotypes that are built, and stereotypes are not built in a vacuum. So when you think about the antagonistic sister-in-law, the hard-to-please mother-in-law, the cruel or evil stepmom, I mean, not every sister-in-law is like that. I'm hoping that I'm a good sister-in-law. Hi, Esther. That's my sister-in-law.
We will definitely ask
That's my
Esther.
sister-in-law. But then I'm hoping I'm not like that. But the truth of the matter is, how are these stereotypes formed? They are formed because of repeated practices. And I was telling you off air that when you get married, you won't worry about, oh my gosh, will my dad-in-law be?
Yeah.
You'd probably worry about,
like
will
that
my mom-in-law be
it's
this?
not a thing.
And I completely echo what you're saying about the scarcity mentality. I don't know if you guys remember, was it biology? I forget. Survival for the fittest.
Yes.
So coined by Charles Darwin, and he said that survival for the fittest is if you don't have adaptations to survive, you force your way. Right? And it's only the people who adapt to the environment that then succeed. True. How do women adapt in an economically resource-starved space? How do women adapt in a space where the leadership, the creme de la creme of leadership in our country, whether it's policy, whether it's governance, whether it's media, the people on the table are men? And oh my gosh, me, I'm a quote person. There's another quote. There's another quote that says, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
Or bring out your fold-up chair.
I know.
Yeah.
So that's like a coping
make
mechanism
space for yourself.
Make space for yourself.
Yeah.
But ideally, the people who make decisions in this country are predominantly male.
Yeah.
And so if you're a woman and you're trying to inch your way up, and I see her, I'm like, the best thing to do is
Push her down.
elbow her down.
Yeah.
And the proverbial ladder. If we're trying to climb that ladder, me and her, I'm like,
there's no space. Because I'm plus size. So who are you?
I'm going to use what I have, whether it's my femininity, whether it's my looks, whether it's whatever thing I think that is going to give me an edge to get up that ladder. And I think it's such a tragic narrative. Because as she was saying, the scarcity mentality is what we've become all about. Yet there's so much to go around that if we just say, you know, this is your turf. Like, I'm not fighting for you. You know, I've got something to offer that you don't, and the same, you know, and vice versa. So we can actually be okay without having to cut each other down to go up.
Interesting. Evelyn.
I think for me, I find it really tragic because if you look at it, especially for me who's really in business, I find that we are easy to give men opportunities than your fellow woman who can do equally the same thing because we don't understand the real meaning of who your competition is. For me, I don't look at it like if I'm selling tomatoes here and she's selling tomatoes, we are competitors. I think of competition in the sense that someone will come with a product that will make me exist. So I need to be looking out for that person. Or how can I then enhance myself by collaborating with other people? Men do it perfectly. Yeah. They'll get a very big job and they will think, okay, I can do this, but how can I do this other thing? And they collaborate.
Yes.
We want to have the whole pizza, and pizza has so many spaces. We want to have,
all of it.
And then when you start starving, and when you start like getting so full, you can't handle it. But it's because we don't have that willpower to share. For us, the information is mine. You sort yourself out. The way I got mine, figure it out for yourself.
Yes.
So I think we just need to start having a shift of mindset to try and collaborate and enable another woman. Because if you want to go far, go alone. But if you want to go farther, let's go together. If we have that kind of mentality, then I think this can change. Because yes, it is true. I've been in places where, the way you just say, outwardly, by the way you will pat each other's back.
Women power.
You'll be like, by the end of the day, you will get that job. But then, behind the scenes, the same person is chopping your leg. And even if you hear it, not even on the grapevine or in the corridors, like, it can't have been Mekali.
Surely. How? We just had lunch.
Yeah, I know, right?
But where did it begin? Where did it start? Are we seeing it now that we are in our different careers, or did it begin way back when we were kids? Was it something we were doing?
It must have been cultural. It's something that started from way.
When you look back, do you see it?
I don't see it that
I don't
much,
see
actually.
it.
I think what's happened now is that there are many opportunities. Women have a bigger voice, there's technology, there's just a bigger space to express yourself, and there's more stuff to go after. And there are things in our world that have made it very easy to cut people down. Social media, anonymous posting.
Yes.
Just makes it immediate. You can just go online today and say something bad about Mikali and feel better about yourself for whatever reason.
Oh, goodness.
So I think the world has changed in a holistic fashion in terms of people perhaps in the past didn't have a way to express their hatred or whatever, what did you call it, their devilishness. And then also the fact that women, the boy child and the girl child, are now competing almost on an even keel almost. So there's much more empowerment in the realm of women. And I think we've also seen there's so much more further you can go as a woman. And you want that for yourself, let's just say plainly.
I like that you mentioned social media, because it brings me back to something that Joan mentioned earlier before the interview began. And it was like, Super Press, Alejandro, there are women who are fighting for Camila, Maria,
Mujer de mi vida,
you know. So it's not even from that. So growing up, if you're watching those, maybe you can just take it away, because you were like.
Actually, just to her point, so research actually shows there's something called the social learning theory, where if I saw my mom being to people, then most likely I will become that to other women. And so what research demonstrates is that if you just want to trace vitriol, look at how people who you watched growing up treated other women, and then you can sort of like trace something there. And to your point on media, it's interesting because I think media doesn't understand the power that it possesses, to be honest. Sorry. Because the subtle nuances that media creates for us are so much larger than it even gives itself credit for. So, say for instance, when you think about female characters, we were saying, soaps, it's always two girls sort of like fighting for a guy, and you'll never have two guys.
Scandal.
We had exactly. You have the Real Housewives.
We won't talk about it if you're
okay,
but
4
5 men.
No, Scandal is another level.
Away from Scandal.
But Scandal is on another scandalous level. So that aside. But if you think about like Sorority Wars, Pitch Perfect, when you think about the Real Housewives of Atlanta or whichever, it's always women, and it makes good drama. It really does. And even locally, we've got, you know, like the mother-in-law series of another station is coined around a nasty mother-in-law who makes hell out of everybody else. And we also have that other one for girls. I don't know what to call it. That one, you know.
No, we are not, Julia. No, we are not. It's okay.
So you see, when media perpetuates this narrative, it makes it bigger. And it may be the reality, but you're amplifying a narrative that makes it okay for women to cut each other down because I see it on my television screens.
Yeah.
And so the importance then of having such a conversation is saying that we need to have some more, I guess, holistic programming that we can kind of see women also helping each other.
We have Miss President, though, on KTN.
Oh, hello, KTN.
Really
good job. Okay. Good. Yeah, you know, at least something like that shows the potential of women to be president.
Yeah.
It shows women helping each other go up. And so I just feel like so many things in our society don't lend this whole conversation so well because it almost helps us stamp that narrative for, yeah, anyway. Ni wanawake, or people will tell you umama.
Umama, like even guys now
like,
being told they have,
yes,
you know,
yes.
like
and by the way, when somebody
no.
says that ukono mama mob, that is such an insult.
An insult.
You know,
it is.
You can turn out like your mom, or you can turn out the opposite of your mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can take, for example, like people who are abused on their children. Some of them grow up to be abusers. Some of them grow up to be protectors. So society is an interesting thing in that sense, and the human mind is also an interesting thing in that sense. But I think we can't put everything at the foot of the media or even social media because now we are creating content.
Yeah.
The media reflects us to a very large extent. So perhaps interrogate why we are seeing those images on screen and how we have contributed to that. I was just saying that to respond to your point.
Yeah. But I think also we need to think about it in the sense that the people who don't have the access to these platforms where they can, you know, be anonymous keyboard warriors, that I can say what I want to say behind, I mean, in front of you, your account and everything. We need to also think about how it's happening in the schools, because it is there. I mean, that's how bullying happens.
True.
Because you just start something and it's about pushing a certain agenda towards cutting someone off. Or because when you let your piece, you know, those kind of things that you normally say. Because, I mean, we might say everything we want to say about media, but I think media is just a platform. We still do it every other time. We still do it in the corridors. We do it at home. You know, we were discussing about the way people treat their nannies, which for me, I think those stories are just horrific.
Yeah.
But I think it's the fact that we want to be the ones who are shining. You don't want to see anybody else's light burn, shine. And I think the more we keep empowering women, and I think maybe we're taking the women empowerment thing a bit, you know,
too far.
I
don't think so.
Yeah, because then we are getting these ideas that we can be whatever it is.
We're becoming entitled, like we accuse the men of being, maybe.
We are taking the space like everybody else doesn't matter. It's for me, this is my time, which should not be the case. Yeah, and it starts even from simple places like home, just the way you treat your nanny.
I'm just thinking something random. Imagine growing up without influences like media and parents and whatever, and you end up meeting another female. Do you think it's innate? Is it in us to be like that? Would you react in that way without all these other influences?
No. It's learned, and anything that's learned, you can unlearn.
You can unlearn.
So I feel like hate is taught. Nobody is born hating somebody, because I have no reason to hate you. I was going to comment and say, when Michelle Obama was doing her book tour on Becoming, a book that I absolutely love, she said that one of the things about women is that when you get to the top, and she was at the top at some point. I mean, I guess she still is at the top.
She is.
You know, when you're the only woman in a certain space, first of all, that narrative of being the only woman in 2019 completely defeats me. I'm just like, it's not a good thing. Like, even as a woman, it's not a good thing to say, oh, I'm the only woman in. I'm like, I feel like no, seriously, it feels to me that you shouldn't be. It's not a compliment for you to be the only woman in that space.
That's how it sounds like. It's like, I want you all to know.
To be honest, no, chill before I lose my point.
Please go.
But I was just saying. So Michelle Obama said the thing about women that she's interacted with is that you climb the ladder and you get to the top, right?
Yeah.
And there's this proverbial table that everybody wants a seat on.
Yeah.
And so the thing that we do is we linger. So you get to the table and you're grabbing it and you're lingering because it's taken you blood, sweat and tears
to get there.
And so you've had to go through patriarchy and to be sexualized and whatever else that women go through to get to the top, that what you then do is that you don't remember your journey and then look behind or down
to help
and
somebody
help somebody up.
Yeah.
What you do is you click them with the heel of your stiletto.
Yeah.
Because you kind of don't want people, and there's this like cartoon-ish picture that shows women clinking their champagne glasses, and then below them is the proverbial glass ceiling. And then below them now are tons of women trying to get up, but you've forgotten the struggle, and then you're just clinking and you know, having a good time. And so I feel like I acknowledge the fact that it has taken so many years for women who say that I'm the only woman in this space or this space to get there, and you know, kudos, and we tip our hats to you.
And our
champagne glasses. But imagine for us to, I guess, to further this cause and to further this agenda, it's not a very difficult thing to just look back and see people. And I know women who are such hardworking people, but they just don't have the opportunity to be in that room for their voice to be heard, for them to be given that opportunity that like you have. So I feel like the onus is on women to just say, which other woman is in my space? You know, and as we're saying offset, if you're given an opportunity as a woman, don't slack. Get on it. Do your very best.
Do your best, because if you want, the way you're saying, if you want a seat on that table, earn it.
Yeah.
It's not like the way we are saying. Yeah, the way, you know, they will say we are nominating you to be a member of parliament. You can actually earn it yourself. You can, and that's the thing. And when you're getting there, remember that this platform has been given to you. You need to be able to rally other people. It's the same thing that, you know, for me, kudos to the woman who really pushed for women to start having their own bank accounts without, you know,
having a man to sign.
You know, you understand? That person, what she did was very powerful because she did not do it for herself. She did it for all of us. We were not born by then, but I am reaping the benefits of her sweat. The fact that I can walk into a bank account, I'm a woman, I'm doing what I need to do. I'm a woman who can inherit my father's property. There's someone who fought for me for that. So even as we are doing what we're doing, we're not doing it for us now, we're doing it for our children or their children. Because they will sit and remember, oh, you know what? My grandma did. That's me sitting here today and speaking on their behalf.
And may we never take for granted the women who did that for us. Because, you know, if you think about like Saudi Arabia, who voted for the very first time in 2015 and are now driving for the very first time. They just needed women, you know. So maybe never just forget.
Matakarua who keeps saying that we need to be able to champion the things we are championing for the next generation. Because we are here right now, it's really tough. I mean, to be a woman is really tough, and I think we have really been injured when we are doing so many things. You desexualize when you go to do a tender. And because maybe a man cannot really ask you for that bribe, they're like, so now, because I have been on that receiving end, like, if I can't ask for money, then
what else can I ask for?
And since I can't keep compromising myself in that nature, I lose jobs. I have lost tons of jobs. I'm even in court right now because of one of those things. And for me, it's the integrity. We can't keep saying that, you know what, I went through ABCD, then I can't help another woman. I was going through that so that I can help other women.
Absolutely. And that should be the tagline. So for every woman who's out there doing something, kudos. But do not forget where you came from, and even the girls who are up there trying to get to where you are.
Just raise your children to be kind, empathetic, generous, these good things, and also to have a very strong sense of self. Whether you're male or female, who are you? What are your values? Even though, what values are you giving them? Can you stand up for what you believe in? Are you there to help somebody else, whoever they are, male or female, black or white? No, kind of things that just make a good human. Because when you break it down to gender, it also becomes a bit tricky. On that note, I want to raise my child as a girl, knowing that men and women are on the same footing, absolutely. Boys can wear pink, girls can wear blue. We're having that argument because she's like, Mama, those are boys' colors. I'm like, girls can wear any color they want. And she's like, you know, it's very, and she's 4 years old. So now, as you look back, you can understand how women got to be one step behind, first of all, because of the system, and then we internalized it. And as a mother, I'm a radical. Why is my child deferring to a boy child? So there must be something in me that is also feeding that kind of school of thought. So I think the raising of the children is maybe the most important thing that anybody can do. And of course, it takes both men and women, but we just need to raise good humans.
Pretty much. Better humans.
Better humans. Just completely agreeing with what you're saying. You cannot give what you don't have. So what you're saying for I guess we need to be those human beings who have self-worth, who treat people well and stuff like that. And it's so funny, by the way, if you Google the history of colors, pink was actually the boy color.
Yeah.
It was closest to red because red was seen as power, and then blue and green and other neutrals were girl colors. So how it flipped, and then how men can wear pink t-shirts, I don't know, man. So, but then, so my, you know, I mean, in terms of parenting and stuff, my word would actually be to people who are raising sons, because I feel like girls are adaptable. But if you're living in a system that is that the odds are stacked against you because you're a girl, I'd love to be able to see young men growing up who respect women, who are forthright, state your intentions,
But we are
be a
having
good
fluid
be a
good
good
fluid gender. So if
that's another conversation, man.
So like
No, for me because I'm raising a son, I'm just saying,
that might really be phased out in time. But now we are bringing them in a society where they can
You can be male or female, yeah, which comes back to human.
Woo! Time up.
Wow. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
are you done, Joy?
Yes, I am. So women, just let's do our part to help other women, you know, to advance this cause. Let's dismantle the stereotype of women have biases against each other. Let's have a sisterhood.
Oh, wow.
And a real one.
A real one.
I mean, the way we are glammed up, let's glam each other inside. It's not that it's just face value. Let's actually do what we say we're doing.
Okay, and it starts in your homes, people. And I like what she said, inwards, outwards. So you cannot be out here saying that all women are Kiria. No, it's you. You are the one. It starts with you. It comes from inside. And if you're toxic, then you're spewing toxicity. And if you're all good things, if you're kind, if you like to lift other people, if you're changing the status quo, then it's from inside outside. Asante sana. Mimi nawapenda zaidi. Sisterhood, nini, comrade power. Okay, fine. That's what's up. Thank you so much for coming through. This has been The Everyday Woman with Mimi Kali and three amazing, gorgeous, intelligent women. We're taking a very short commercial break. We'll be right back with Books and Blogs with Catherine Mwangi. Remember, if you're in Westlands, just pop into the Life Style Hotel.